Welcome to Old Classic Car, and in this collection we are looking at Reliant cars, and to begin with we're over in the paddock area at Oulton Park and a lovely little Reliant Sabre Six. What a handsome machine that is, pre-Scimitar the Sabre Six was. Carrying on with Reliant, and we're down at the NEC Classic Car Show, and we've got a W registered Scimitar GTC, the convertible version of the SE6A Reliant Scimitar GTE Fastback. Next up, going much further back in time, FFU 446. This was down at the National Motor Museum at Bewley in 1947, 600 weight Reliant van. What a Bobby Dazzler that is too, in the livery of the Daily Mail. This year at a show in North Wales we spotted this rare survivor. This is a Reliant Sabre. This is based on the older SS1 and the SST, Ford or Nissan power. These were built from 1992 to 95. Back down to the NEC, and YouTube regulars may well recognise this little Reliant Fox. A registration. Back down to Oulton Park and head-on view now of a Scimitar GTE racing car. Fiberglass bodywork, steel chassis and a big rollover cage in this particular car. Outside the Llangollen Motor Museum several years ago we spotted this Reliant Robin based van. It's on an M registration, so that's about 1973 or early 1974. Not sure if this one's on the road or just an exhibit. Down to the NEC again, T24 AGP. This is a rare Reliant Robin Mark III. There's only about 500 of these built from 1999 to 2001. Quite a late example there. Not quite Reliant, this is actually one of several Middlebridge Scimitars that are going to feature in this particular collection, but it's very much a Reliant design, just built after Reliant gave up producing them. This one on a G plate. Over to, I think, the Western Park Classic Car Show now, and one of the very handsome Scimitar GTs, the Coupe, the SE4. These were built from 1964 to 1970, Ford powered. Lovely looking car as well. Back to the NEC, we've got a J-Reg Reliant Supervan III. That's a London registration series that was brought in March of 1971. Very original looking little van there, great stuff. Now this was a vintage motorcycle meeting, an evening meet many years ago, about the best part of 20 years ago, and this Reliant Ant or Reliant TW9 turned up. These were styled by Oddball Design, 27.5 brake horsepower. These were built from 67 to 87. And staying with little commercial Reliant, we've got a 1973 Reliant Rebel van. This was on the Reliant Owners Club stand. Carrying on with these classic Reliants and over to the Isle of Wight. This old survivor appears to be a bit of a promotional item for a house clearance centre, J812JOT. Back to the Oulton Park Racing Circuit and a rear three-quarter view of another lovely Reliant Sabre Six. It's on a C plate, so about 1965 this particular car. What a handsome machine this is. Bit of work in progress clearly between sessions. There's another view, a frontal view of the same car. The front end up in the air, so maybe an oil change or a suspension setup tweak maybe on this particular example. If you know this car or any of the cars in this particular collection, please pop a note into the comments and update us on where the car's at now. Back to vans and another Supervan III, this one in the livery of the Royal Mail. What a cracking little van that is too. Back to the Reliant Scimitar GTEs, and a very modified car here, wider arches at the back, and this one apparently is powered by a double overhead cam Honda S2000 engine, so a very modified Scimitar GTE, the SE5A version. Back to the older coupes, the GT Coupe or SC4, we've got another example here, very smart car on period Wolf Race alley wheels, really nice cars these are, I do like these a lot. Back to the Reliant Sabre, another Reliant Sabre. I'm assuming this is a 6-cylinder car as well. This was on its own wires. fiberglass body. That body shell can trace its roots back to the Ashley 1172 Ford base special of the early 1960s. And another Supervan 3, this one in the livery kind of the Only Fools and Horses van, of course, as you can see by the sign writing on the side there. This was at, I think, the Malpas Steam Rally a little while back. Now down in Tenterden, we spotted this wonderful little van. This is NLR 942, that's a 1953 Reliant Regent 600 weight van with its owners inside it. Had quite a chat with them, lovely couple. There's a rear three-quarter view of the same little van. What an amazing little thing that is. Very cheap to run, economical little delivery van of the post-war years. Similar vehicles were produced prior to World War II and continued into the late 1940s and early 1950s, I believe. Down to Wem for the Vehicles of Interest show. There are one or two videos of this show now on the channel. And here we've got a G-Reg Middlebridge Scimitar, based on the last of the line Scimitar GTEs, the SE6As. Very smart machine indeed. Now this was Weston Park. No, it wasn't. This was Malvern. Back in the mid-2000s, I think. Someone got an F-Reg Scimitar here, the Scimitar Coupe. You can see a 3-litre badge on the boot, Ford power as always. Pop-up sunroof in this particular car. Where is it now? Now to the NEC, C198JFV is a Reliant Rialto 3-wheeler. This one from 1986. Now, I didn't have too many photos of SS1 Scimitars in my files, so here's an F-Reg example. This was at the Audlam Festival of Transport a few years ago. It's on an F-plate, so that dates it to about 1988. Down to the NEC again, we've got a couple of the Middlebridge Scimitars here, the nearest in a very vibrant yellow gold metallic colour. Quite an eye-catching car, the Middlebridge alley wheels on this one. Sticking with these Scimitars, we've got another example of the fiberglass-bodied convertible GTC, again on Wolf Race alley wheels. This was at the Cholmondeley Castle Classic Car Show several years ago, an event that's no longer held. It's a P-Reg Reliant Kitten from 1976, and apparently it's Yamaha powered, so a lot of modifications on this particular little Reliant. And staying with kittens, we've got a side-on view now. This is the Kitten Estate. The car we showed before was a, well, I'm not sure what you call it, a little two-door coupe, I guess, if you like, but this is the square, boxy estate version of the Kitten. Back down to Malvern and a rear three-quarter view of GHM 286N, an SE5A Scimitar GTE. The MOT on this one expired back in September 09, so where is it now? Is it still around, or has it been broken up for parts? Is it sat in the garage? Please let me know. In the NEC again, we've got another Supervan 3 here, a lovely example in mid-blue. Down at the National Motor Museum at Bewley, if you've seen the video, you'll have seen this little car. This is a Reliant Regal Mark 1, dating to 1953, 747cc, 16 brake horsepower, new, 362 pounds. Got another Kitten here, the Kitten Estate, with a three-quarter view on a small set of Wolf Race alloys there. Looks great on those. If you know any more about this car or any of the others, yeah, like I say, please let me know in the comments, because it's always interesting to know where these cars are that I photographed several years ago, including this one. A bright red Sabre Six. Really, really nice looking car. That's a rear three-quarter view of the same car. If you know your British cars, you'll recognise those rear light units as those off the Austin A40 Farina. And on a similar theme here, we've got the Sabre GT. And you can see that little information board there on the top left, built in Israel from kits provided by Reliant. And again, an evolution of the old Ashley 1172 body shell. Down to the NEC once more, and another example of a metallic blue G-Reg Middlebridge Scimitar GTE. Many years ago we were holidaying in South Wales and we noticed someone filming outside with this Reliant Supervan III. It was a TV series for children in Wales apparently. This one's on an L-Reg. Whether it's still around or not I do not know. Here's a really sharp looking SE5A version of the Scimitar GTE. Looks great on those wheels. It's got a little spoiler on the front as well. Is it still Ford V6 powered or has it been modified? Please let me know. And here we have another Reliant Fox, this one without the body on the back, the van body if you like on the back, on a D-plate, alley wheels, quite a smart little thing, fiberglass bodied, quite a rare sight now. I didn't think I'd find that many photos of these, to be honest. Same with these, this is URE 800, another example of the Reliant Regent van of the late 1940s or early 1950s. There's a Barclay and a Riley RM alongside this one. Here we go, a rear three-quarter view of the same little van. This one's been brush painted or coach painted, as so many commercial vehicles were back in the 40s, 1950s and into the 1960s. Great little survivor that one is too. The Scimitar GTE here, this one on an M plate, so that puts it to late 73 or early 1974. Nice alley wheels on this particular example. Staying with yellow Scimitar GTEs, we've got a three-quarter view here of one down at the British Motor Museum at Gaydon on polished alloys. I assume it's still there. Yeah, quite a handy practical car. Steel chassis, fiberglass body. Slightly grimy dark photo, but again, like I say, I didn't have too many photos of Reliant Foxes, so I included this one. This one registered in 1985 or early 1986. Back to the Sabres and a slightly modified Reliant Sabre Six here. These are usually Ford powered straight six engine. Really nice car. Excellent engine accessibility, a bit like a Spitfire there. Really nice GT car. There it is with the bonnet off, showing its triple carburettor setup, tubular manifolds. Many of these had Raymond May's engine conversions, Zephyr engine, and you could get various period tuning bits for these in the 1960s. There's a closer look at the carburettor setup, front suspension, all very accessible and easy to work on. One of the later Scimitar GTEs here. This is an SC6A in a very distinctive colour scheme of cream and brown. Again, wolf race alley wheels, very distinctive paint job. Aftermarket fog lights on the front there under the bumper. Quite a neat little Fiat camper alongside. And here at the NEC we have another Rebel van. Bit of a work in progress restoration project here. I assume it's been finished by now. MMA 592, I've seen this one various times over the years, sometimes sign written and sometimes not. This particular one dates to 1950. What a bonny little machine that is, and there's a little pedal car on the ground just next to it as well. Shame I didn't include that in the photo. Another SC6A, Scimitar GTE here, like I say, 3 litre V6 Ford power in these particular cars. This is a W-Reg example, and a Saab 99 Turbo alongside. This was Alton Park quite a while ago. Now, Goodwood 2022, we popped in for a brew, and parked up in the car park was this Reliant Robin. This one dates to about 1993 or 1994. These were very popular, especially back in the 1970s and 1980s, because you could drive them on a motorcycle licence. You didn't have to have a full car licence to drive a three-wheeler, which made for very economical motoring. HNR 65D 1966, that's a lovely example of the Scimitar GT, the SE4 Coupe. Really handsome car, bright chroma, wire wheels on this particular car, very nice indeed. And another Reliant Ant, a TW9, very bonny, very practical little vehicle. And these were produced for many years actually. Really nice to see this one. This was at a pub meet quite a few years back. Sadly the pub is being redeveloped. Anyone who's watched Top Gear from the Clarkson, Hammond and May era will recognise this. 2 of these were built, one of them was launched into the sky and blew up. I think this one was used for other photo opportunities, but yeah, Quite a distinctive thing. And here a rear three-quarter view of an SE5A Scimitar GTE. Very appropriate registration number on this one, on an end plate, so late 74 or early 1975, this particular car. There's a different event, but the same car from the front this time. This has got the Lucas Square 8 fog lights on the front. GTE registration. I wonder if that was a special request or just a happy coincidence. I don't know. Back down to Bewley, FKE 119L, I believe is one of the actual cars used in the Only Fools and Horses TV series. If you can update me on that or just confirm or deny that rumour, please let me know. I assume it's one of the genuine vehicles. There's a rear view of it. Several of these Supervan 3s were used throughout filming of Only Fools and Horses. Obviously the series ran for quite a long time, so they got through a number of vehicles. What era this particular one dates to, I'm not quite sure. And to a very sunny Western Park here, and we've got an SE6A, or the GTC rather, convertible version of the SE6A Scimitar. Smart little moggy traveller alongside it as well. This was at a garden centre which we just happened to go to, and there was a classic car meeting on. The rear three-quarter view of another Reliant Sabre Six in bright red. Painted wire wheels on this particular car. A lovely looking GT, I think. Really, really nice. SLK 558W is a Reliant Kitten, a green example this one. And, you can see those mini wheel trims that these cars came with, as fitted to mini deluxes, the Mark 1 and Mark 2. There's a rear three-quarter view of the same car, quite practical, handy little load lugger, fiberglass bodied, of course, so nice and light, quite a nippy little car, practical, big tailgate on the back there. Yeah, very usable little car. Still a few classic Reliants to go, and we've got another example of the Scimitar GTE here. Really nice, basking in the sun at Capesthorne Hall classic car show. You may have seen the video that I did of Capesthorne Hall in 2021 and 2022. And driving near Whitchurch in Shropshire several years ago now is this R-Edge Reliant Robin. Always good to see one in regular use rather than just at a show. Managed to grab the camera and take a snap of this one as it sped by. Another Scimitar Coupe here, lovely, lovely car. And an SE6A in brown, W registration, so that puts it, well, about 1980 or just about into 1981. Saab 900 alongside it. If you're a fan of Reliants, please say hello in the comments, let me know what your favourite Reliant would be. And here's a rarity, I've only seen this the one time. This is a Fox-based camper van of all things. Presumably that rear body is demountable, I would have thought. But yeah, if you can fill me in on who actually did this conversion, that'd be great. Now this was in Llandudno, probably the best part of 20 years ago we saw this one. It's a Rebel Estate. Yeah, it was about 2002 or thereabouts. Quite a rare survivor. I see the odd van, but not many estate car versions. Looks like it's had ladders on the roof at some time. Now, DRX 235, another one of the wonderful, just post-war, three-wheeler Reliant Regent vans. Another GTC here with that bright green Reliant Fox in the background that we saw early in this particular collection. This one's from 1981 or early 1982. Ex-registration ran from 81 through to 82. Back down to Gaydon, and we have a rear three-quarter view of another Royal Mail Supervan III DUU 630J from about 1970, this particular little van. Taking part in the tour of Cheshire, the historic road rally, there's another wonderful Sabre Six. Nice wide steel wheels there, possibly TR6, looking at the style of them from what I can see here. But yeah, that's a great car. And finally, a Bond Bug. Even though this was a Bond, it was actually built by Reliant, a Reliant-owned Bond by this point in time. And again, like the Reliant Ant pickup, it was by Ogle Design. And yeah, such a distinctive car of the 1970s. And this Scimitar GTE rounds out this collection of classic Reliant car photos. Scimitars, Sabers, little vans, three-wheelers, Robins, Rialtos, and many, many more. Like I say, please leave a note in the comments if you're a fan of classic Reliants. There are hundreds of videos on the channel now, so please have a look around before you disappear, and there'll be more videos along very, very soon. So bye for now.